have that global audience already. So glad to have you here. We have much to say, but let me kick this off with an energy that I could never compete with. I wanted to make sure that Ramon Ray, one of our dear friends, one of our clients, one of our partners, gets a chance to address all of you. He is a renowned world speaker. He has built and sold multiple brands. He has an energy level that again is unparalleled, and he's been involved in events for so many years. So as we're kicking off this event with the theme of experience, I couldn't think of anybody better. So let me just bring on Ramon. Ramon, good morning. Sorry.
Hey, Liz, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. How are you?
Liz, I feel great. It's great to be here. Good to see you after a while. You and I interact quite a bit on all the platforms, but
Yes.
good to see you. You look fantastic, and all the best to your family. And hello to the techsytalk global audience. Thanks for having me, Liz.
Thank you for coming. As I said, you have been steeped in events for many years. I don't know, I don't know if you consider yourself part of the events industry, but I think you are. And so I was hoping that you could kick us off this morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time people are watching, by talking about this idea of attendee experience and why we should be so obsessed with it, what you've seen over your years of experience. And I'm going to leave it to you if that sounds good.
I appreciate that. And I think you said, Liz, I have 15 minutes, or was it 3 hours?
Yes.
How long did you say?
Anywhere in between there, but we have some great speakers lined up.
How about 15? I think I'll cut it down from 50 to 3 hours to 15.
Okay.
But no, Liz, thanks for being here. I must say, everybody, that when I have big events, when my clients come to me, I serve some large tech brands and others. And hey, Marlis Arnold, good to see you too, dear. And hey, Ashley, when my clients come to me and say, Ramon, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do big events? I call Liz Caruso. So I am not an event producer in the aspect of people hiring me, but I'm an event producer for my own events that I dream up and build, and then work with amazing talent like Liz and this great community, all of you, to do that. So I'm honored to be here. I'll be done in about 10 minutes or so. Just really excited to kick this off and serve you all. So again, welcome to techsytalk Global. As Liz said, my name is Ramon Ray. I've started 5 small companies, sold 3 of them, authored several books, about 5, and I speak all over the world. And I do 2 different things. I speak, that's for sure. So I'm a keynote speaker, usually about some business topic, but then I'm also an event host, which leads to experience, and I'll give some points as well. So those 2 different things I do, and it's great to do that. Possibly I've been on some of your stages. So with that, a few key points I wanted to talk about experience, about events and growing and helping to give the attendees an amazing experience. I'm excited to have Phil Mershon and others come up in the next few minutes and hours over the next few days as well. So I think Maya Angelou said it best. It's not so much what you say to people, but it's how you make them feel. That's so important. How do we make people feel at our events? And I know most of you, all of you here are professionals, and so most of you probably know this, but I think today and the time we have here will be a great reminder of what does that really mean. Good to see you, Phil, too. What does that really mean? And so I think experience counts. Now, is that the most important part of an event? I don't know. There's so many things that are important, right? You have to have the good draw. You have to have a good agenda. You have to pay for the event somehow with sponsors and ticket sales. But I must say, event experience is right there at the top. I could think of some of the best events that I've been to, some of the best events that I've been to. And do you know sometimes where it started? Even as my car pulled into the parking lot, even as I opened up the door of the hotel or the loft or the space, the outdoor area, right before I even got into the main event, you could feel the vibration. You could feel the excitement. You could feel something's going on here. And that makes you want to come back again and again and again and attend said event. So my message, my thought, my challenge to my brothers and sisters in the event industry, and I do consider myself part of the event industry, is what is the kind of experience that we can make for our clients or for the end user, for the attendees, which is most important, whether you have a big budget or a smaller budget. And as Liz said, just a side point about having consider myself a part of the industry. Yeah, I do. Because even though I'm not the direct event production, like, for example, Liz is, even though I may not be the event producer, kind of to a degree, like Phil Mershon is, but as a speaker or as an event host, especially at bigger events. I was just at a big event with Gary Vaynerchuk and Neil Patel in Las Vegas. I'll be going to Houston next week. Even in those times, I work hand in hand with the event team to produce a great experience. So one, I think something sounds small, but one thing that I notice in some hotels, I won't mention brand names in case we have sponsors or others as that, but there's one well-known hotel. When you walk into that hotel, it smells nice. So I wonder, my brothers and sisters in the event space, what can you do to have a great experience even with the smell? And by the way, if you do that already, if you sometimes get into some smells and scents, put the word smell into one of the chats on whichever platform. I'm curious who uses the power of smell as part of the experience. But a great smell that can matter. Now, not too overwhelming, of course, and I'm not a smell expert, but I can think of some of my best events when I walk in the elevator, taking a ride on the escalator, walking on the carpeted floor. I was like, ooh, this smells good. Another thing I think that's important is the aspect of smiles. Listen, training your staff, training your team. If they see our logo from the most junior event staff to the big dog at the event, what's the smile? And yes, as Marlis says, multi-sensory is always a great strategy. Is everyone wearing a smile? Is everyone looking like they're excited? How can you expect an attendee to be excited about your event if you're not excited? Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming to Techsy Talk Global. Liz is absolutely amazing. Ugh. You're going to have a good time today, and I'm so glad you're here. Can you believe having an event like that? And it can't be fake. You have to really be excited. But I think you get my point. And that's the staff. That's you. That's everybody who's involved with that experience. Are they wearing a smile? Does their voice sound like a smile? Are they ready to serve the customer? I think another thing that goes far, especially as you're doing a great experience for the speakers, whether you're paying your speakers a lot, paying them little, the budget side is irrelevant on this, but showing appreciation to the speaking staff, to the production staff, and even what can you do for the attendees? Now, tchotchkes, of course, are an entire industry, and your clients will turn to you for help in that. And I'm sure we have a mix of people here who are the event planners, people who are service the event industry, like myself, and those of you who are the end user client, producing your own events, hiring some people here on this platform. But when you think about the gifting experience, I can look behind me. Wow, I can pull out so many things I've gotten at events, amazing gifts I can think of that made me think, wow, somebody put thought in this. And again, Chloe, hey Chloe, what's up? As Chloe says, whether it's the thought for the speakers and other that you want to say thank you, or even just quote unquote the attendees, giving them something memorable, something they'll think about. I work with one large tech brand, and they're based in the South. Their headquarters is in Asia, but they have a Southern presence. And every time they come with something harkening back to South in America, meaning a belt buckle or hot sauce or something like that. So those things mean a lot, and I remember their events. The colors and visuals of your event is so important. And again, it's something that if not there, you wonder will people notice. And maybe if you don't have a budget, even it's something as simple as a flower. But as you're doing big scale events, as you're looking to 2023, those of you who are just starting out, and of course, those of you who are experienced know it, definitely. I love from what Sean says, we must serve and appreciate speakers, staff, volunteers, sponsors, and vendors as much as attendees. Absolutely, Phil. Amen to that. So as you're thinking of the colors and the pop and the sizzle, this is absolutely important. Even, hey, the bathrooms. Do you have budget to put some decals in the bathroom? Is that brand, is that visibility? Is it something that as people coming in, not only are they smelling it, but they're seeing it. It looks baller. And can I say one thing here? I hope I don't offend anybody. If I offend you, then Liz will come back on. She'll be like, Ramon, cut it. You got to stop. So let's get ready to hit the stop button. But as you put your colors and visuals together, either do it right or don't do it at all. And I know most of you are doing it right. But once in a while you go to an event and it feels like they got a cardboard box saying bathrooms this way or welcome. Unless that's part of the design, make it look baller, make it look good. And you don't have to spend a lot of money per se to have things look good. I encourage you to consider it, raise your budget, work with your sponsors, get your pricing for your tickets. So we want to do the best we can. But I respect everybody. I'm sure this platform is at different stages. But I was at an event yesterday with a big client of mine in New York City. They were at the 101st floor of Hudson Yards. They spent quite a bit of money at that event. So there's budgets around for sure. You just got to find them. But the event looked first class, I must say. The food was good. They had one of those fancy robots that can flip and do stuff. One of those robots there, a violinist there. The food was great. The staff, you could see the staff were well appointed. They were looking really good. And even the audio video, they didn't have one of the old school projectors. They had like a display wall with the video integrated, something really cool like that. It looked really first class. So my point is, as you're thinking of the design and the visuals and things of that nature, you want to really pay attention to that. Most of you don't have a problem with this, but to talking about visual and design, trash is something that could be a big turnoff for many attendees. So make sure you're well staffed in your events who can take care of it for sure. And welcome from St. Augustine, Florida. Welcome, Lori. Your staff, I've mentioned that before, but I do want to touch on this as well. The staff you hire are really, really important to the success of your event. And as we're talking about now, to the experience. It's everything. I've done a lot of events over the year. One of my first events, I dreamed of it in 2005. My first event I did in 2006, my first big event, bringing hundreds of people together. So I've done a lot of events. And as an event host, I've been on probably stages of some of you hosting your events and or keynoting your events. And I must say, the staff you hire matters. I've done stuff like, you know what, let me just try to bring my uncle, my cousin, and my Aunt Mary. I'm not going to call Liz right now. And I got cousin and Aunt Mary results. They're not professionals. Every time I call upon Liz, or you may have the people you call upon, it's a baller event, a baller experience, because they're first-class professionals. So the staff you use is so very important. And this is one of my final points here as I get ready to turn the microphone back over to the amazing techsytalk team, is the host you have. And I'm not saying that just because of me, but in my years of experience being, yes, a keynote speaker and or an event host. Let me give you some tips on that. Those are two different disciplines. Just because someone's your chief executive or the big dog at your company does not mean they're a great event host. And just because they're a great keynote speaker does not make them an event host. So one thing I found about the role of an event host, as I am, an event host can help fill in the holes and fill in the water with your team. Maybe you have a CEO that's not a great speaker. You know what? That's okay. They built $1 billion company. That's okay. But an MC or a host can fit with them and elevate the entire experience. Entire experience. So this is the things. I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope it's been useful for you as you've thought. I want to make sure you see plenty of time for the rest of the speakers coming on as you're thinking about how can my next event be a great experience? How can my next event be an event that elevate? How can my next event be an event that people remember? How can my next event be an event that people want to come back to? How can my next event be an event that people will be referring others to? How can my next event be an event that people will always remember? And remember that experience goes a long way. My name is Ramon Ray. I think if Liz is ready, if not, Liz, you know I can go for another 45 hours on demand if you want. But Liz, I hope that was helpful. What do you think?
Of course it was helpful. That's the best way to kick it off, is giving kind of that big overview of attendee experience. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing all your insights and the energy again. I got to talk
You're
about that
welcome, Liz.
energy.
Thanks for having me here,
Thank
Liz.
you,
I
Ramon.
appreciate it.